Hello, my name is Grace Davis, and this is my recording for the presentation assignment in regards to the paper about genetics-based methods for agricultural insect pest management. So basically, the article was talking about ways to use genetic modification in insects, which can then be released out into the environment and are involved with mating with regular wild type insects. And the main goal of this is to reduce populations of pest insects because pests negatively affect crop production for food and crops that are important for the economy. So overall, the insects can have a negative impact on the economy. I remember reading that one specific insect, um, I think it was a type of moth or diamondback moth that cost 4 to 5 billion in crop damage and management related to handling that pest. And there were a lot of examples of pests given that have specific targets um, for what kind of crops they damage, or if they damage multiple kinds of crops. Some target so many things that their impact is really widespread, and which is why it is important to find methods to reduce these insect populations because insects also have some resistance to different kinds of pesticides. And there are both synthetic pesticides and biopesticides mentioned in the article. And synthetic pesticides specifically were mentioned as having resistance from the insects. So using the genetic modification helps combat this um, problem in that there's not much resistance created when using this method to control insect populations. It is also species specific, and you can target specific species without harming other species in the environment, which is definitely very important because you can really localize the effects that you want to have and not cause chain effects throughout the whole ecosystem. Regarding the releases, it is important to have a certain ratio of how many insects you're releasing into the environment with the genetic modifications and to monitor the success of these releases. They mentioned that they can genetically modify both females and males, but they typically seem to modify just the males to not be able to reproduce, and they do this through radiation exposed to the insects, which causes chromosome damage, and it leads to ineffective reproduction once these are out into the population and reproducing with the wild type insects. And they also mentioned how this can be used for um, helping fight diseases with Aedes aegypti, which is a type of mosquito. And those mosquitoes carry things like dengue fever or malaria. And so releasing out Aedes aegypti mosquitoes that mate with the wild type populations and make it to where they're off they can't have successful offspring is important for controlling zoonotic diseases and limiting the spread of mosquitoes. So overall, I thought the paper was really interesting and provided a lot of new information to me. And I had heard about using it for disease control before, but I hadn't heard about using this method for crop control, but it makes a lot of sense. And as long as it's successful and not harming the environment, I think it is a great way to target pests that negatively affect our crops and economy without damaging the environment which can happen with synthetic pesticides. Thank you.